right, if we can, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm Kevin Weisman, the principal here at Florence High School. We have all kinds of special guests here. You know, ultimately, our special guests who are basically receiving this honor are our students that we see here in front of us. So. Last year we have a little special graduation ceremony for AbleWorks, okay? And you're going to be able to see their classroom in a few minutes here as you walk through. But it's just a coincidence that their classroom is in the middle of our school building, because that's the heart and soul of our school. I'm sorry I get a little emotional when we talk about these kids. I have an autistic son, he's 25, all right, and I see how the community takes care of it. And what you've done for our community is something that's so astonishing, okay? And so thank you so much. And I want to introduce Dr. Odell to come up here. This is her last day in Florence City Schools. This was her brainchild, okay? Give all the credit where credit's due, because she actually brought this thing, and you see the product today of her generosity, her efforts, and everything else. And then she can introduce Russell and bring Dr. Shaw as well into the mix here too. So you want to say something first? Yeah.
Thank you. And I really cannot take credit. All credit goes to this man right here, Russell Medford. All credit does, because he came to me and just said, "Hey, what do you need?" And you know, in education, we don't always get people that come and say, "What do you need?" And so I don't think it took me, and Allison came with him. I think it took me, but okay, you want to stand up here? It took about 3 seconds for me to say, we need a recreation area, playground at the high school. Okay, thank you. I love you. Okay. Sit down.
No. Sure.
Okay, fix it. He's got to fix me. I have little things. So we are just so honored, and thank you all that have traveled to come and see the playground. But really, this has been a dream. The AbleWorks teachers, you know, they've had this on their heart for a long time. So I cannot take the credit. But I'm so happy that we get to see this, and I plan to be back watching them enjoy it in the coming days. So thank you so much for coming. And Dr. Shaw is back there. Do you want to? Dr. Shaw is our superintendent.
I'd echo everything that Ed said. Thank you to Mr. Castile, to Mr. Medford. Thank you to Dr. Odell for all she's done. This is her brainchild. She's great. I got an email from Mr. Weisman at some point and Dr. Odell about wanting a playground or recreation activity, and I was like, I don't know. I hadn't thought about that one like that. And so they pulled it together and made it work, and they have dedicated their time, their lives here. This is just kind of a small piece of outpouring physical of what you see that goes on their hearts and their minds. And so with that, we want to thank all your parents. Thank you for entrusting us with your children. Thank all of the teachers and assistants and everybody pouring in this to make this what it is. We do this for our students. And so thank you, Mr. Medford and Mr. Castillo as well. With that, we'll go ahead and
Let Mr. Medford.
Would you like to say?
I just want to say this was a total community effort that my childhood friend Billy Ray Castile was the one who said, Alice and I have Armstrong has autism, and we had been raising money for different charities, and Billy Ray was like, man, you need to do this about autism. And I told him, I was like, well, I didn't want this to be about me. And he said, it's not about you, it's about a bunch of people. And so from that, we had an amazing outpouring from the community, from my wife and my children and Todd and Sims and Lydia and my team at Medford's, who had my back to allow me the time to kind of put things together, to my amazing band who worked for 10 months to put a great show together, to all the world-class musicians. Many of them are here today, who gave their time and their talent to this. Early on I met with Wade Baker, who would feed the musicians after these shows and told them what we're trying to do. And he opened up his checkbook. Gary Baker took me to lunch to had me work on his charity show at Christmas, and I left with him committing to play on the show and a check in my hand. You know, Philip and Jan Harris, who supported the music scene. Andreas Werner, who gave me the idea to have these concerts in the first place. Brian Sherry from Mitchell Hollinsworth. I know I'm going to leave people out. I mean, Jessica Hood, the band director at Muscle Shoals, and Bruce White, the band director here at Florence, who organized so that we could march the Florence and Muscle Shoals High School bands together down and play Tusk. Lloyd Jones, the band director at UNA, who wrote charts and marched the UNA band Friday night down to play Tusk. Tom and Jane Frith, who got the First Presbyterian Church so that the high school kids would have a place to hang out before they performed. Mike and Randy and everybody at the Pie Factory, who gave money and fed those 72 band students the night of the show. A complete community effort. So everybody should feel really good about this town. Thank y'all.
So, Paige, I'm gonna come up and describe what we got out here. So this is just the first phase, all right? So we got further plans down the hill, all right, that we have here. So, all right, Miss Paige Kimbrough is our academic lead, all right, for our special ed department, okay? So I'd love to introduce her and let her talk about some of the things we got out here.
First of all, thank you so much. Like this means so much to us. And you can see that when we were thinking about what we needed to do, we went ahead and went in phases. But it was so important for us to start with the phase to include our students with wheelchairs. We wanted a place for them to be able to come and utilize this playground first and foremost before we went through any of the phases. And then our other students who are physically able to, interact with them can also interact on this playground. And then we're going to eventually just build onto this, on down the hill. But just to have the inclusivity of all of our group together so they can play and learn and grow together and just have this opportunity just means the world to us. And we appreciate everything y'all have done. This is just amazing for us. So we can't thank you enough. Like, we will enjoy this for years and years to come. Thank you, thank you.
All right, so get up here. Russell, come on. You get the scissors here. All right. Dr. Shaw.
Yeah, these things are no joke. I thought they were plastic. Where's Dr. Shaw?
Dr. Shaw, come on over here.
You're the expert at this.
Whole coast system. Oh, there you go. There you go.
That's a bigger wrestler.
Let's just hope it does.
So what?
We'll hold it.
All right. Is it really?
Yeah, really okay.